Let's talk about referencing. Let's talk about APA. Let's talk about Harvard, Chicago, Vancouver. Don't forget MLA. Let's talk about word. Yeah, my family is so mortified by me. Referencing. It's a big deal in the academic world. It is vital that you reference someone else's ideas, theories, study, argument, whatever, and do it properly to avoid plagiarism. I see countless errors in students' work, and it is almost criminal when it is so simple to get right, especially with all the tools we have on hand at the moment. But which style you use depends on the subject you're writing on and your institution or journal's requirements. Let's do a whistle-stop tour of the major referencing styles: APA, Harvard, Chicago, Vancouver, and MLA. Yes, there are more: AMS, LMS, IEEE, you're like a monkey, MHRA, but these are a bit more specific to maths, computer science and engineering, media and law. By the way, if we haven't met before, I'm Amy. I'm the Tutor Warrior with a first-class BA and MA in Education and English from the University of Cambridge, and I've been tutoring for almost 15 years. Whew! If you haven't subscribed to my channel where I post academic essay writing tips and tricks as well as productivity and student life hacks, then hit that button right away. Now let's get into it. Firstly, most referencing systems can be divided into 3 categories: either author date or page number, footnotes, or numbered. Let's tackle the author date or page numbers category first and look at APA, my favorite. Used for education, psychology, and linguistic and language science. Generated by the American Psychological Association, the latest version, APA 7, published in 2019, can be found on the APA Style website, which includes a whole load of guidelines and examples about how to reference in text, in a reference list, how to title tables and figures, how to present quotes, format your paper, the grammar that's expected, all of that below. In a nutshell, in-text citations are presented with author date, either in brackets or parenthetical. That's where you write the full sentence without needing to actually say the author's name, or with just the date in brackets if within narrative citation, where you use the author's name in the text. If there are more than 2 authors, use et al, full stop, after the first author's name, which in Latin is an abbreviated form of Italia, which means and others, not Bella Italia. It might actually just be easier to write and others, to be honest. At least the full stop and comma would always be in the right place, and this is actually one of my biggest bugbears. So for a heads up, when using the reference parenthetically, you write it with a full stop and a comma with no specific brackets for the year. Write it with just a full stop and brackets around the year like shown. One thing to note is that if there are several sources cited together, organize them alphabetically, so by surname of the first author of every publication, not chronologically, by date. And in the reference list, authors are alphabetical with specific ways of referencing journal articles, books, book chapters, websites, and so on. I haven't got time to go through all of them now, but you can check out the APA website. It gives you all of the options. God, I feel awful. You can tell I've got a horrible cold, but hey, I'm here. I have shown up for you guys to do this, so enjoy. Harvard. So Harvard is used by archaeology, biochemistry, biology, economics, environmental and health sciences, management, philosophy, politics, sociology, social policy, and social work, into film, television, and interactive media. So it's quite popular. It's actually quite similar to APA with just some really subtle differences. It doesn't use an ampersand for 2 or more authors. It just uses and. There are some differences in the reference list presentation as well. Like for a journal article, the DOI is included and the date accessed if it's online, whereas APA doesn't do this. MLA, the Modern Languages Association of America, is used in English and philosophy subject. Now in its 8th edition, it usually presents the surname and page numbers, but isn't really interested in the year. Where no page number can be given for a source, such as a web page, includes just the name of the author or organization and n.page for no pagination to indicate a lack of page numbering. It has an alphabetized reference list by author's surname, like APA and Harvard. And again, the information to include depends on the type of source, so see these examples. Let's move on to our second category. So this is the footnote references. So predominantly Chicago, but also MHRA and Oscola tend to use this. Chicago is used by English, history, history of art, and music subjects. So the footnote citation system is where in the text a number is put in superscript, a little font, which is added after the information given. And the reference is then given in the footnote at the bottom of the page. So you can give the full details of the source the first time it's cited and a shortened version, including the author and the title for subsequent citations. And in the reference list at the end of the document, make sure the list is organized alphabetically, like all the other reference systems that we've talked about, by author surname. Here are some examples of the way that you would present the Chicago references. Note that the way that you present this in the actual footnote might be a little different. You'd actually present the first name first, whereas in the reference list, you'd put the last name and then you'd put the first name. I know, why? I don't know. Finally, our last category is numeric in-text citations. We're looking here at Vancouver, but also AMS and LMS and IEEE. Lucky! This is used by biochemistry, biology, and medicine. Vancouver uses numeric in-text citations, where the number of the reference is given in superscript, minute font, after the information summary or quote. So they're numbered in the order that they first appear in the text. So your first citation is 1, the second is 2, and I mean, you get the picture. If you cite the same source again later in the text, just reuse the original citation number. And then in the reference list at the end of the document, they're listed in the order that they first appear in the text, as shown. So the number first, and then surname, initial, title of book, all of that stuff. So that's the big 5. Whistle stop tour. I know there is so much more detail to go into all of them, but I haven't got time to do. Which brings me nicely to shortcuts. When searching for an article or publication, say using Google Scholar or your specific search database or engine, you can use cite in different ways. Google Scholar does this for you. When you search for a reference, you can just click cite and then it'll come up with the big 5 ways of citing that source. Pretty handy. There are also loads of reference management systems and citation generators. So Mendeley, EndNote, Zotero, Paperpile, even ChatGPT can be used. Just type in your reference or web link and ask it to generate a reference for you in the style that you need. Bold. And hey, none of those people are sponsoring me, but if they're watching this, they can hit me up. And you can also use the References tab on Microsoft Word to generate the citation by filling in the necessary info and choosing the citation style that you want. It will then add it in that style to the reference list or bibliography when you create one. There are some really, really great guides online for free on how to use some of these to help with reference management. For instance, the York Uni website is incredible. Link below. They're not sponsoring me, honest. And there you have it, a fly by the seat of your pants tour of the big 5 referencing systems, which I really hope you found useful. If this has helped you, give me a wave, thumbs up, send me a message. Hey, I just want to know you exist. I'm the Tutor Warrior. It is my job to get over my cold. No, it is my job to help you slay that essay so you can get better grades for your work. Oh, this? Yeah, that's when my toddler smacked me in the face. Charming. It's like kicking me when I'm down. Let's talk about ref spec. No, I'm not going to do that again, don't worry.